Campsite, one of the main ways to get new villagers in Animal Crossing New Horizons. From time to time, a new villager may appear in it, and you can tell them to move onto your island to increase the population. Unless you already have 10 villagers on your island, in which case they will just ask you whether they can replace someone, who will usually end up being your favorite villager because RNGesus just doesn't seem to be on your side. So today I'm going to show you an easy trick on how to let the camper change their mind, as well as a few tips you may want to know. I'm Lord of Rinse, soak it in, chaos is coming. Since you are here, I assume it is probably because you have found an ideal villager in the campsite. Therefore, I highly recommend that before you do anything with the camper, watch the video first. And do not risk following along, cause a wrong mistake at the wrong step can easily screw things up, and the camper is going to keep trying to replace the same villager, and you will be sitting in front of the console for 5 hours straight, thinking either that the method is not working or the game is glitching or both. And it had probably already taken a while for the campsite to spawn a favorable villager, so you don't want any unfortunate surprises happening. Now, I respect your time, so let's get into the video. Let's talk about the trick first. If you have played the game for a while, then you have probably encountered villagers that appear in the campsite, who I will be referring to as the camper. And you probably know that if you have 10 villagers on your island, the camper will pick one of them to replace with. But here's the catch. Once the camper chooses a villager to replace, they'll keep pushing for that same one, no matter how many times you try. This is because the game autosaves their decision at the end of the dialogue, and turns them into possibly the most stubborn being in the universe. Therefore, to prevent yourself from getting into that kind of situation, all you have to do is to close the game right away if the camper wants to replace one of your favorite villagers. Keep in mind that when I say close the game, I mean literally just close the game. No extra steps. As soon as you see the name of your favorite villager pop up, press the home button, press X, and press A to confirm closing the game. This will prevent the game from autosaving, which allows you to get back into the game and try again and again until the camper chooses correctly. So the whole process can be summarized as: Step 1. Get the camper to agree with you about moving onto your island, whether it is through a minigame or they just straight up agree with you. Step 2. If the camper chooses correctly, say yes, because why not? But if that's not the case, meaning that the camper is asking you about replacing one of your island's untouchables, then proceed to Step 3. Step 3. Without finishing the dialogue, quit and close the game. Then get back into the game and repeat this process from Step 1. Yes, it is that simple. Tip number 1. The key about this entire process? Patience. This method works on all versions all the way up to 2.0.8 at least, and I promise you that as long as you haven't had any interactions with the camper since their arrival, then do exactly what I showed in the video. You will not end up in a situation where you are stuck with a stubborn camper. Tip number 2. If you've got some extra bells laying around, here's a sneaky little trick to slightly boost your odds of the camper choosing the right villager. Head over to the resident service and talk to Tom Nook about relocating the house of one of your island's untouchable villagers. It doesn't matter who, as long as it's not the one you're trying to kick out. After that, Tom Nook will give you a moving kit. Don't place it down though, just keep it in your pocket. As long as that moving kit stays unused, the relocating villager becomes temporarily ineligible, meaning your camper now has one less option to choose from. The result? A glorious 1% boost in your chances! Now, before you throw all your rotten turnips at me, I know 1% sounds small, but hey, if you're like me and your bank account could put Tom Nook out of business, then why not go for every edge you can get? Tip number 3. So now you know the trick, but I will admit, it can still be really slow, especially if RNGesus wants to turn your hopes into rotten turnips for some reason. So what to do about that? Well, here's a little trick I found helpful. Put on a movie or show before you grind for the right villager. Just stand in front of the camper, hold down B to fast forward, and mash A to go through the dialogue. And hopefully it makes the whole process a little less boring. That said, there is a bit of risk involved. You might accidentally skip too far and accept a move-in you didn't mean to. The good news, you'll usually see the screen go black right before the camper mentions who they want to replace, so you can still close the game in time, theoretically. But yeah, it's not foolproof, so whether or not you want to risk it is totally up to you. Tip number 4. If you find the camper you want near the end of the day and don't have time to grind for the right villager pick, there's one last option, and it involves the very tool that some say ruins the game: time travel. Here's how it works. Animal Crossing resets the day at 5 AM sharp. As long as you keep your system clock between 5 AM on the day you found the camper and 4:59 AM on the next day, your camper will stay put, and the cycle won't reset. That means you can time travel around within that window and grind at your own pace, without worrying about the camper disappearing. For sure, time traveling bends the rules a little bit, but hey, so does Tom Nook's pricing model. Furthermore, if you don't play online and time travel saves your sanity, I say go for it. You already paid for the game after all. And that basically marks the end of the video. If you found it helpful, remember to leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, that is what the comment section is for. So have a nice day, and I will see you in the next one. Before I wrap up this video, I just want to quickly mention that sometimes, for some reason, a specific villager just refuses to get picked by the camper, no matter how many times you try. And in true responsible content creator fashion, I'm here to tell you, I have no idea why. For example, I once spent over 3 hours talking to Apollo, resetting the game more than 40 times, and somehow he picked every single villager on my island except Zell in particular. The odds of this happening, about 0.9 to the power of 40, which is roughly 1.5%. And what's even weirder, Zell has been on my island since the 2020 pandemic, so the new villager protection rule doesn't apply either. So if something similar happens to you where one villager just never gets picked after dozens of tries, then in my opinion,